my friends, and I could go on. That's true. Some asking for this instrument sometimes on my commenting on my YouTube videos, and then they want to know what the name is, and that is it's a Jaws harp. Yeah, they call it Jaws harp. Yeah, or morsing in India, and it's been all over the world for eons of times. The Indians even have a very important place for it. Yeah, in the order of the art. They say in the music, all the instruments are contained in this instrument. That has a lot to do with their culture and their cosmology, how they figure the world has been made, and these kind of things. So this is a very important instrument, and it has been used by shepherds all over. They are all lonely on the lawn with their sheep in former times, and then they began to use this instrument in different forms, in wood form, in different shapes, tall, small, small and tall, big, whatever. I found it many years ago, and just for €5 or so you can buy it in the cheaper forms. And then I walked around at nights, and it took me really, I was really into it. I was living on my own somewhere, and at night I always walked around with this instrument, and it gave me a lot of joy and peace of mind. So I just do it by myself. I did not learn it from someone, but maybe I should one day to learn the intricate rhythmical art in India. They have systematized the whole music. It's fascinating. It begins with rhythm. They say that's the father of music, and the melody is the mother. So they have these wonderful stories also always to tell. And well, why do I tell about it? Just came to my mind that the morsing, the Jaws harp, is also a way to go inside oneself, to go into the deeper levels of one's mind, the subconscious, and so. Everything comes out when you turn inside. You can feel that. On a fasting day like today, it's one of my gentle juice fasting days. Then, of course, I feel deeper inside because I don't have to eat. On a regular basis, I eat food to nourish my body, the physical body. But on the fasting days, I only drink juices. Water, lots of water, of course. And so the energy which I take in from the food goes directly from the water, from the juices and so on, goes directly into the system. I don't need to digest it because the fiber, that's what is not digested, doesn't have to be worked through in the intestines. The fiber is a way. Usually you take the fiber out of the juice. When you make a juice, you take the fiber out of the produce, and then you have only the energy, the nutrients, the pure nutrients. That goes directly into the system and feeds your body. And that's why the body is at rest. It doesn't need 60% of the energy, usually in the food, goes into digestion. 60%, that's huge. And all this energy, you don't need it when you fast. When I fast, so I'm looking forward to fasting actually, and gentle juice fasting, the special kind of fasting Yogini Kaiji invented. It's called gentle juice fasting because it's always gentle, always a delight. You never push yourself. You have to feel great at every moment, and as soon as something happens like a detox, you have a headache or something, vomiting or something you don't like, then you stop or you break or you take a little rest. You take some smoothies, some more fiber, or a soup, a warm soup, or light food. Most important is that you feel great and then you still reduce your calories. Then it's okay. And you take a certain time. Time is an important frame. Today they talk about intermittent fasting. That's one way, to describe this kind of fasting where you have longer periods of time without food. I would rather call it gentle juice fasting because it is one day and one night, maybe 2 nights, from evening to morning the next day. So that is maybe can be over 30 hours or so. This is a regular gentle juice fasting when you begin with one full day, because that's a nice cycle. It needs a little bit different discipline at first because you want to eat, you are used to eat, as we all are. And then you have to learn, yeah, to eat one day not. But it is so good for the system. Really, the system giving it rest, I believe it's one of the best parts of my yoga practice I have found so far. I always was a great disciplined yogi. I always had a lot of discipline, and it was too much in the beginning. I didn't know about gentle juice fasting, about the flow. I was just doing my yoga and doing it very strong. I wanted to be good and feeling better. I wanted to be healthy and strong, and a sharp mind, clear mind. But I didn't know about balance. Now with the flow, the Tree Yoga, science and art of Tree Yoga, the flow comes into yoga, and that is totally new, and it's a whole new feeling of life, a new way of life, a new way, totally new experience, because the balance is so important. It's the most balanced system in yoga I know. And balance, before I even made yoga, I understood balance is a crucial thing to have a constant success in life. My father was a very strong person. He had a lot of power and influence on others. He was a businessman, and he had a very life which was based in the moment. He did everything totally with his whole heart. He was loved by many. I loved him too, and he died early. And he said, "If I die early, it doesn't matter. I have lived to the maximum." So I thought about that a lot, and I found that's a nice way to experience great emotions. But isn't it better to grow step by step, slow and slow? And I made a math, yeah, and asked many persons and read about it. And the old science, yeah, the old cultures, they all know it. For eons of times, the best you go moderate, you go step by step, and then you have the most of the success on long term. That's always the rule, yeah, moderation. And in Tree Yoga, in the flow, that is the system, is based on the flow, yeah. Flow is always non-violent. Yeah? You don't waste energy. Yeah? You do what's necessary, and you leave what's not needed. And then you're in a balance. Balanced state of mind. Yeah? The body is in balance. The energies are balanced. And yeah, the words and the thinking, the feelings and the actions, all is balanced. That's very important. And to me, that is so good, not only because of myself, but because of in general, if I see myself as a human being among other human beings, yeah, in the country or in the planet or so, then I wonder what is good for everyone on this planet. And for everybody, I can say the moderation would be the best advice. Whatever a single person does, that is not my business. Yeah, I think for everybody, at the general scheme. Yeah. And there I see, for the general advice, I would always give the moderation advice. That does not mean that in a certain situation, a single person, might have to do something extreme. Yeah, that can happen. Of course, it happens all the time. I do something too. It has to do. I don't know what I happen to do in the next moment. If something happens, I have to do something rush, probably. But the general advice is always medium, moderation, to be in the flow. And then the best chances are, as far as I can see so far, then the best things only happen. You make it happen if you're in the flow. And that's a nice way to think and to live. And I don't want to talk a little longer about that now. I was just going about drinking today. Yeah, part of my life. Yeah. Is drinking, very important. Food is a very important part of my life, yeah, of my health, yeah, for everybody on the planet. Also, again, something we all do, we all have to do on a regular basis. So it's important also for the vegan movement to begin with the food. And this is the first liberation movement on the planet, which goes to the everyday part of the food of every person. It hasn't been there before. I guess this kind of revolution has not been there. Liberal movements in the 20th century have been about gender, about race, and about these kind of things. We have freed ourselves. The humankind is beginning to free itself from domination of a higher superior dictator or king or what. We are Democrats now, many parts of the world, in a growing part of the world, and so on. But the food has never been a part of it. And now that's the first time in veganism, and it goes to every day. It's a very deep revolution on the very basic level that takes place here, a peaceful revolution, and I guess it's so different. And in this part of my life. Eating, drinking is also part of. And the drinking that's only practiced on the fasting days, so an extension, is a very great pleasure. And I love drinking. Usually I make food, I make recipes, and it's not so much about drinking. Only on the fasting day I focus on the drinking especially. I drink a lot. I love to drink water in the morning. When I get up, I drink water. And in the evening, I drink maybe a nut milk or a seed milk or so to make it a little bit like a dessert. And during the day, I have water and water again, but also juices. And sometimes I like a hot drink also. And it can also be made in a raw food way. I show you today how to make it in a raw food drink, a ginger lemon drink. One of my favorite drinks. So one example, if I not fast, if I have a regular eating day, sometimes it happens that at night I feel hungry. And I know I shouldn't eat at night after sunset because it's a great burden on my system. It's better for me personally, and for many others I found too, they told me the same, that eating is not good after sunset in general, as a general rule again, just general rule, of course. I can all make exceptions, but in general. Because then the system can have rest at night, can digest better, I can sleep deeper and detox at night without having to digest again. It's all done before, and in the morning I can get up early and feel fresh and rested. So that's the best way. And if I happen to be hungry at night, that's the point with the drinking I came to now, that can also be because I'm confused. I think I have to eat, but actually I just want to drink. And that's interesting. So I began to make drinks at night because I don't want to have this kind of burden at night. So I want to make it gentle and delightful for me, not to force myself also, not to eat. I could, of course, but forcing myself is always a little bit out of the flow. I don't want to force myself. I want to make it gentle. I want to be in the flow, not forcing into it. So if having a gentle way, to me, it seemed the good solution so far to make a nice drink. To have teas, herbal teas, for example. And one of my favorite drinks is this ginger lemon drink. That's so amazing. I love it so much. And in the wintertime especially, now we have a close to winter, in Germany at least. And it is a warming drink, and it's full of nutrients, healthy nutrients with the ginger and with the lemon. And I have also a stevia, that is here I show you the stevia, I'll show you right now. The leafy form of the stevia, it's a sweetener without calories. So usually some people use sugar, or dates or so. On a fasting day, I can't so well use dates, or I can filter them, but that's more complicated. Here with the stevia, that has 0 calories and a very great sweetener effect, but it has a problem. The leaves have less of the problem. They taste more natural. But there are powders also, chemical extracts, essence of the stevia leaves, of the plant that tastes even more bitter. And this one, the leaves, also taste a little bit bitter. The specific stevia flavor they have, but not that much. So I prefer always, if I can, I prefer the leaves. I can buy them in my health food shop. If not, I get them online, but in the health food shop now they noticed, I always want to have stevia, so they bought it. Now they have it always there. I don't need that much, but especially for these drinks, for these teas, with the lemon and ginger, I can use the stevia leaves because with the ginger together and the lemon with the peel, the stevia flavor, this bitterness vanishes. I found out I can use the stevia sweetness, which is a flavor that many people do not like, that even detest it. It can be so disturbing for people. And I don't like it either that much. It's like a little bit like licorice. But licorice in a tea, I don't know. Sometimes, but not always. That is a little question. When can I use it? And together with the ginger and the lemon, wow, there is no licorice flavor. It's just sweet. If I don't over measure it, if I have too much of the stevia, it begins to taste through. But with a good amount of stevia, it tastes only sweet as it should. And a balancing the sour flavor from the lemon and the hot flavor from the ginger. It's a wonderful combination. Today I want to just show you how I do it. So important here for this drink is the ratio, because I have 1 liter of water to have a, you know, such a teapot, yeah, full with hot tea. That's very nice to have it on the desk, yeah, at night or in the evening. When I do my work at the desk, I have the tea there now and then and drink a cup. I don't feel I have to eat, though there's no problem with the hunger. So that's very nice. So I have this tea, I enjoy it. It's something healthy, warms me up, gives me nutrients, and keeps me also okay for the night. Yeah, I don't have to have that burden in my system with the food. I don't need to, just drinking. Yeah. So important to make it really delicious for me, I found the measurements so important in this time, in this case, in this certain case. And it is easy. I have only 3 ingredients. The measurements are easy to find. I have here lemon, and I take 2 lemons. Yeah. I juice them, and I combine them with a big piece of ginger, almost this size. This is a little bit much, but it would almost be like this. For a liter of water, you can have that much of ginger. You see, that is a big piece. Yeah. Usually it would be too hot, but if you sit in the water, in the liter of water, yeah, it's okay. And this amount of stevia, you see, this amount. It is not too much. Yeah, see, if you have an estimation of it is. You have to find the way you like it. I think maybe that is a. It's hard to measure because it is so light. You can press it together, and then it is smaller. You need it's a small handful, maybe a very small handful. It's definitely not a half cup. Yeah, and if it's pressed, it's so small. Maybe it's a tablespoon when it's pressed. Yeah. So not too much, but a good amount, a fair amount. So now how I combine it. I have to prepare the ginger first. If you have a ginger root, I always have a huge amount of ginger at home. That's a very healthy root. It's super healthy and has this wonderful flavor together, hot flavor together with the lemons especially, and with sweet also. And I have my ginger grater. Yeah, this is a ginger grater, especially for ginger, and you already see I have already grated my ginger. I want to show you what the grater looks like. Here in the outside, you see there's a little canal. The water can run here, and then the liquid ginger, sometimes it liquefies, can be here, and then you can pour it into the glass. Yeah, but this time I will use all the ginger. Yeah, I show you a little bit how I use it. Yeah, I use it like this. I grate it on here, and this big ginger grater is very useful for at home. When I travel, I might have just this one for traveling, a small thing to make my ginger tea when I'm traveling, just a small one. Yeah, but the large one here, I had the small one first. I have even a smaller one. I don't have it here now. It's very small for traveling, even smaller. That's very nice for traveling. But if you have a large amount of ginger, I tell you, this big size is really what you want to have. It's so much easier. Yeah, the small ones are always, you know, it makes a difference. You will see if you try it. I would begin with a small one maybe, and then you have a big one, because I use a lot of ginger. I always have great amount of ginger. So how to do it? I just take one of the ears here, break it off, and then I grate it here. You see how easy it is. I don't show you all the grating because that takes too much time, and I need to focus also, otherwise I could hurt my fingers. It's a grater at least. So ready. So I want to show you how I put it into my tea. The first easiest way would be to have a tea pot without any filter. I have the filter in here. That's a special feature, the filter inside. If you don't have the filter, I just put the water and the tea in here all together. But with the filter, I have a little advantage. It's easier. I don't need to use a little sieve and pour the tea through the sieve to have it easy. I just take the ginger from the grater into this filter, into the sieve here, which comes with this kind of tea pot. Yeah. I find it very versatile. Yeah. I like it. So I scratch it a little bit, I scrape it here, I see with a spoon, and there is still some ginger on the top, you see, and I don't want to waste it, and that's why I can have my little water here and pour it over it. See, I pour it over, and then I can have all of the ginger. I don't need to waste it. That's also why these large ginger graters are so preferable, because you don't need to waste all this wonderful ginger in the grater. See, it's almost empty now. Almost all the ginger has gone. So that's the first thing I'm going to show you about the ginger grater. The second thing is about the lemon. But before I put the lemon in, I put the stevia in now. Stevia, here, I showed you before, the leaves. I put them right in onto the ginger, onto the seed there. Second part, now lemon. Here again I have to tell a story. So, a lemon, I use the lemon juice at first. It's a lemon juice. It's a lemon ginger juice, water. And I have the fresh lemons here. If you have a lemon juice, you can use it. But the lemon has an advantage. I can use the peel of the lemon. I can zest it. And to make a zest, I need a grater. Again, this is another grater. This is a microplane. And these things have been invented by a woman. Not being, she just went to her hubby into the garage. He was a craftsman, and he just used these kind of things for his woodwork. Yeah, and she took it out for the kitchen and used it as a grater for the zest. Yeah, and it worked perfectly. And now we have a microplane as a brand worldwide selling. Yeah. So it's an amazing invention of this from a garage. Yeah, and I always saw it on the TV advertisement in the big chefs, and so I said, oh, that's a nice thing. I had always my own grater, a smaller one, and when I tried this first, I said, we'll never give up again this grater. The microplane is, whatever brand it is a super instrument, super versatile. You say you have the lemon here, and you just have a large plate, yeah, for the grating, and you just do it this way. It's very easy. Yeah, and there is no easier way to get the zest off. And it's really so versatile, this tool. If you really want to grate some things, I don't show you everything now, just to begin, just a little bit. Yeah, that's what a lemon looks like now. Yeah, you see the white. You don't want to use the white. You just want to get the yellow. That's the zest. The white is bitter. The zest tastes lemony, and that's what we want. You know? So I use 2 lemons, and what I have from the 2 lemons here is this amount. Yeah. This is the zest of 2 lemons, and they go right into the sieve here to the other ingredients on top, and now I'm complete. Now I come to the water, and there is something I want to tell you about the water. There's a water story too. So I have my tea here. That is some water from the ginger. I pour it from the ginger grater. I have the grated ginger. I have the stevia, and I have the zest from the 2 lemons. Yeah. And here is the lemon juice. See? The lemon juice. Here. From the 2 lemons. Another very versatile tool, yeah, the juicer, the citrus juicer. Put the two lemon juice also in there, and now all what's left is the water. And now comes the raw food story. I quickly finish. I have I wanted to put 1 liter of water in here, and now I have a water boiler that boils the water to 100 degrees. And if you put half of the water with 100 degrees, with half a liter with the water 20 degrees, you get about 50 degrees or 60 or so. Yeah? But if you let the water sit for 5 minutes after boiling, it goes down to 80 degrees. And if you have half and half, 80 and 20 degrees, you get 50 degrees or 45 degrees. So another 5 minutes, you'll go down until 60 degrees. And then with 60 degrees, after 10 minutes or so, you have half the water for a liter and go down to 40 degrees. And with 40 degrees, it is still raw food. So I waited now for a while after the boiling of the water. And first I put half a liter from the cold water, at 20 degrees about, Celsius. And for the rest, I either put the hot water, which has cooled down to about 60 degrees, I put that on top and fill up. And then I have about 40 degrees with my lemon ginger water. And then I will let it sit for maybe 10 minutes or so until everything has steeped into the water, and I can enjoy a wonderful, healthy and warming drink on my gentle juice fasting day. Thanks for joining, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little explanations. If you have questions, please anytime. If you want to join the Facebook group Sri Yoga Moon Fasting, you can do that. You'll find it. There's a group. You can ask. I will let you in. And I post another video recipe for juices and nut milks and so every week. And otherwise, you can subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. See you soon.